Hello everyone. I hope you can hear me. Tell me if you can by thumb up or anything. Okay, thank you. Because I'm using a new headset, so I wasn't sure it does. Okay, so we still have a few minutes. 1 minute. Okay, so I'm just sharing screen. And where is the presentation? Should be somewhere here. Here's the presentation. So thank you for coming again today, and we are in the second session of Python programming. I think we're progressing well, so I'll do a quick revision of what we did last time, then we'll get into today's lesson, and hopefully that will get you to remember what we have done before. So in the first session, spoke about Python and what is Python and uh, what application Python can do. And we said Python is not really a new programming language. It was there for a long time, but recently it's grown with the growth of its libraries and community, and also the need for focus on something that can be easy and fast in doing things. You don't need to build so many things or follow so many steps to create an application. You can just jump and get your things working directly, and it removes all the restrictions, not all, most of the restrictions in other languages that some people think it makes no sense. Like, for example, your line should end by a semicolon. Uh, why? That's in so many languages. It's Java, C Sharp, and Swift, and all many languages. But it doesn't add a value to the program. It just tells the program compiler having them declaring variables and sticking to the variables. It has a reason why it's there, but for most people, it doesn't need to be done by the programmer. It can be done by the computer, the compiler, or the interpreter to do the curly brackets and all those other things that sometimes people think it's just confusing. You can structure your code in blocks and you can move them left and right, and that will be very clear. This belongs to this and this belongs to that. Why you need to use braces in place. Also, converting variables from one type to other type. In other languages, there are a way to cast, they call it casting of data. You can do, but in Python is very simple to do. Ability to produce graphics and deal with large data, ability to access sources on the internet, on Excel file, on comma separated file, on a database, from anywhere in a very easy way to do it. And that made Python important. And these are the things we spoke about, readability and stuff like that. This is how you start programming. Just you say print and you write your text. variables. You don't need to declare the data type. Just to say x equal 5 or y equal 3.14, and the system will understand you're dealing with numbers in this way, and this is integer and this is float, without you telling this is integer or float. Same thing with dealing with string or with Boolean. And the good thing, if you declare x as 5 and later you want to say x is Ahmed, you can do that. It will not cause any issue. And you can create a list, and we spend some time with the list. And the list here is like the array, which you can include multiple data and multiple data type. It doesn't have to be all of it as text or all of it as integer. You can mix those data type, and that gives you the list you can have. You can later sort it, search it, display any element as we did in Java. You can also create something called dictionary, which will you have some keys, like the key here is the name, and the key here is age, and the key here is city. And inside that one, each one you assign a value using the colon, not equal. And this become a dictionary that can store information about certain thing. It's similar to what we did in classes and object in Java, but this is very simple thing. You don't need to create a full class in Java and do all the things to do this. You just come with dictionary like this. You can also, you have if statement, work very similar to if statement in Java. The only thing, brackets are not must to have here. Here is not must. So age equal 14, age more than or equal 18. You have a colon. This colon will tell the coming is part of the if, and it has to be moved to the right, so we can say this is part of the if. If you put it on the same column, then it's not part of f. It's equal to f. We don't need it. We need to be part of f. So this will be executed only if this condition is correct. And the column tells you this is a block which coming up. If things are not, then else. See, else at the same level of f, and there is a column, and then this belong to the else. So if someone come with age 5, for example, 5 is not more than 18, so it will not execute this part, it will execute this part. And if it comes with 18 or 19 or 20, it will execute this part. And that's the way it works. The for statement, as you said, similar to Python in one way. So here you can say for I in range. This range can be a list of things. And if we say 5, it goes from 0 to 4. If I want it to be 1 to 5, I say 1, 5. Then it will go 1, 5. Then with the while loop, similar thing. And the function. We spoke about, someone can be just, the function is similar to the method. As we said, so could you please mute your microphone if you don't need to speak? And you define it by using def, then they come with a name. You don't need to say void or integer or float or anything. Just directly you say this is a definition, this is a function. So def means definition of a function. So the function name is greet here, and you say it requires a parameter called name. And in this case, you just display the name. Now we can do it differently. We'll do it today. And then when you want to call that function, you have the name of the function and you pass the data to it. We also import. We have libraries, and one of it the mathematics. If I want to run the square root on anything, like on the number 16, I can import math. I don't need to say Java, I just go directly say math. So import math, and M is lowercase. Then you can print, say, use math to find the square root of 16. Use math to find the square root of 16, and this will give you 4. That's how we do it. And also this is defining another function, and then we will speak about the text files later in more details. And we had some practice when we moved into Anaconda. We practiced two things. One, we used Rebel, as you remember. Rebel, what is mine? So we went into Rebel and we did some drawing using Turtle, something called Turtle. So we went here and we selected Python Turtle, this one. And then here we started drawing objects and learn how we can do that. We created a function and we did things like that. So this is basically, it's importing Turtle and creating a screen and start drawing some shapes on the screen if you understand. But we did very nice things using this one. Then we moved into Anaconda. We downloaded Anaconda. What is my Anaconda? I think this is the one. Yeah, so we went into running our Anaconda. We downloaded Anaconda. Here's it. And this came Anaconda. And from Anaconda went to Jupyter Notebook. And I said that time Jupyter Notebook is great for dealing with large data because it creates like a notebook we have. And if you remember last time we created a folder here in the download, I think. We called it, what did we call it here? I calculated it. Download. Yeah, Python practice. We created this folder. So we need to find Python practice, Python practice. This is the one. I created this folder. And in the folder, we had the lesson 1, which we did not complete. And in lesson 1, if I open it now, I'll find all the things I did before in blocks. So we created a list here called student. It has Ahmad, Salim, others. And then we defined a function that go through this list and display them one by one. And then we run the function. Now, if I run the function, I'll get an error. Why I'll get an error? Because when you load your notebook, you need to start running everything there from here. And the best way to do it, you just click run here, click run here. And now if I run this one, it will work. Why? Because when I jumped and run this, it's using a function called display data. The display data is not in the memory yet because I didn't run it. Okay? So I have to run everything to be able to get here. So running everything is just by using this one. You can go to each one and run it. So I run it. Now I have my data. And then we have seen that we can call it again. And we did call it here. And then we did some Turtle. We're not interested in Turtle. And we had last time, we had this one. We have a list called grade. It has this number. And we created a function that find the grade. And we tested it, it works well. Yeah. Now, if I want to find the grade for the first element, what I can do here, I can come here and say grade and pass 0. Now it will do, go to that. Did I run grade? I did run grade maybe. It says grade something wrong with grade.
It spells wrong.
Sorry?
Grade in line 11 is spelled wrong.
Spell wrong. Grade. Oh, this one is grade is wrong. Grade. All right. Thank you for that. So grade, and we run this one, and now we run it. It's working. So that's 90. If I go into the second one, which should be one here, and now it get me D because it's 67. Now I can create a loop and it can go inside this and find the grade for everyone and put it in a table format. But you're getting that one. So let's go back to our revision page and we'll need to move to the new session. So today we'll be talking about the list in more depth. There's so many things in list, including plotting it and creating charts and bar chart and pie chart and all those type of visualization you can do and some manipulation of those lists. This is important. You will need to know that one. So let's get into more details about the list. So what we hopefully learn today, to close this one and close this one. Yeah, back to here. I'm not sure if this one is disturbing you on the screen. It's disturbing me, but you didn't see it maybe. Okay, so this objective, what we will learn today is about creating lists, and you have seen that we can create lists, and there are different ways you can create lists. We created lists directly by assigning values. You can ask the user to input the data, and you assign to that one. You can get the data from another table and things like that. And we will learn also how to add, if you already have an list there, how I can add data to it, I can remove data from it, how I can access specific element which we already know by now. Then we will look at how we can use Python to do those reverse, sort, pop, remove. These are different type length of the maximum value, the minimum value, the sum of the list. How we can do all this in a very easy way, not like Python. You need a for loop and you need to go through. Here, just there are functions you can call. And about creating various type of plotting, we'll do some line chart, bar chart, scattered, and box, and so many things. We'll be using a library called matplotlib. This is very strong library that help you plot or draw so many type of visualization of your data. And you studying in the university, you will find data visualization is something important when you go to work, when you also do your projects. So do that one. So first, we know now the list, but this is a quick revision. I'll jump. Now, creating a list, there are different ways. One, you can create an empty list like this one, and you start using append to add data to it. Every time you use the append, then you can add data, and we'll see that one. The other way, you can just add the data directly, and as you can see, we can mix data from different data types. These are integers. This one is string, and this is float. This number can be changed, and data type can have a mix. Notice in Java, we have to stick to one data type, and that's what we have. Here you can have, this is how to access it. You have done that before. And now how we can modify an item. If you can modify any item by just finding the index of that item and giving it a new value. So for example, if I have a list called the previous list and I want to modify the second element, I can say my list, which is the name of the list, and then I can change the value. This is same as Java. Adding element, if you have a list and you want to expand it. In Java, challenging to expand the list, an array. You need to use array list, which can be expanded by using add. But here you can use append, and then you can add the new value to it. So that gives you flexibility to add items to the array. But also you can add item at a specific location. When you do this, it will add it to the end of your list. If you add grape, the grape will come at the end. And if you want to add it to a specific location, you have something called insert. Of course, insert is in between things. When you insert something, you insert it in between. So you need to know the location, which is the index, and then the value you wanted to add there. So this one, by using insert, you just push it to the third location or index 2, and then it will be added to the third location in your data. And also, what did I do? You have extend, and extend is interesting one. Extend, you add a list to a list. Remember now? Extend, you add a list to a list, not a single item to a list. And because I'm adding a list, I must use those square brackets for the elements in the list. So there is a list here that include mango and pear. Then this list can be added to my list. Okay, so you can add a list to a list. Of course, this can be just a list name. If I have a line here, say list 2 equal mango and pear, then I can come here and say my list extend list 2, and then it will work. So extend difference is adding a list to a list. But inserting into a specific location, append, adding it to the end of the list. That's some good thing about the list. Then we have remove. Of course, remove, when you remove something, you remove the last one. If you just use my list, remove apple, and where is the last, the first apple that appear in your list will be removed. You can have multiple apples there, but the first one will be removed, and then it will go and find apple. You have something called pop. Pop. If you want to pop something from a specific location or remove it from specific location. So remove is and pop are same purpose, but this one removes specific item, and this remove an item in a specific location to do. So I need to remove the third one, which at index 2, then I can pop it out and do that. If I use pop without a number, it will remove the last item I have. Yeah, without an index. So this will do that, and it will remove the keyway because the keyway will be the third one. And print my list will get us again after we do that. Then that's what will happen. Okay, that's good. And then we have delete. Delete the whole element in that location, which we can, again, very similar to pop. So you can delete that element you want to delete at location 0, and it will just remove that element. The two are very, very similar, pop and delete. Now, Python is evolving, yeah, means every time they add a new thing. Sometimes they add new thing and keep the old one there because they want programmer to continue using that. So you'll find sometimes more than one way to do the same thing in a version of Python. Okay, I think there's a hand up there. So let me look at the hand up before. Okay. Okay. Jashal, spoken language. Let me show the spoken language, English. Okay, because Copilot will help me. Jashal.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good.
So the pop function, right? We take out the popped item from the list and store it in a variable, right? So
Yes.
in that variable, that item will be there in that variable's memory.
Correct.
So we can then use that variable later for other manipulation.
Absolutely. And this is very good point you made. The pop return a value, and that value, after it deletes thing, it will return a value, and that value can be stored somewhere else. Because I removed it, but I still need to keep track of what I removed. I use pop. If I use delete, it will go without keeping a record of it. This is a very good point, Yashel. Yes, correct.
Thank you, sir.
Stephen?
Yeah, I've already asked like 2 questions in the Q&A, but I have another one that I'll ask myself. Can we
Yeah,
remove
ask it. Yeah, ask
can
it
we remove
yourself.
multiple
Because
things? Oh, sorry.
yes, you can remove multiple things by using a sort of array to go through them and remove them. Can see, yeah.
Can we make a list of like remove everything here, or do we write them all one by one?
You have to, I can't remember now if you can remove the list from a list, but we can check that one. But where you can, if you want to move multiple things, you put them a list and you do a loop, simple loop that goes to the original list and take the first list, first item in the first list, and then delete it from the original list, and second one delete it. So you create basically a simple function to do that. We will do it later. Just remind me when it comes to that. We will do something similar to this one. We can create a very small nested loop that can do this. Yeah, that we can do.
Sir, also, only the extend function can add multiple items in one line.
Yes, yeah,
So if we want
correct.
to append many things, we have to use, what do we do?
If you want to add multiple items to the same list, and these items are in a list, like you have list 2 and list 1, and you can want to add, sorry, you want to add
So,
list 2. Yeah, go ahead.
sorry, continue. So extend adds them to the end already?
Yes, yeah, it added to the end. Yes, correct. So
Okay.
extend add the list to another list, and it added to the end, and then you can of course sort it to the level where you want it to be. And if you create a function that does that, if you want it to be sorted, to be added and sorted, or added and put in a specific location, then you can create a simple function that does added, uh, break it into components, and add each one of those components to specific location.
Okay, and also insert only adds one thing. So we have to
Insert
put
adds
multiple
on.
lines.
Yes, yeah. You need to multiple lines, you have a loop. If you have two, you can use loops and ask the user to enter data or things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but all these are basic things. Then what expected from programmers? They develop their own functions to make use of those basic append, insert, and extend to do more advanced things based on their need. These like tools here that you can use it to build your own functions.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure. Let me see if there's another hand. There's no other hand. Okay. So let's continue with the practice. We'll go through all these amazing ideas you had today. Okay. So we went to remove, I think. We done remove and then pop, and then we did delete. We have also can slice. Slicing is one of the great things in Python. Slicing means you break your data or you divide your data into chunks or groups or slices. So I have a list that has so many items. I want to create a sublist of that one called list M, for example, that take the items from index 2 to index 4. Index 2, 3, and 4. Index 1, 2, and 3, sorry. 2, 1, and 3. 3 items. Now, the number 4 here, 4 will not be included. So when I say 1, 2, 4, the 4 is not included, the location 4. So in this case, it will take 3 elements only. And this is slicing data. So a big list, you slice it based on different ways you want to do. And one of it is the index. Based on the index, you want to take the first item to the third, to the second item to the fourth item. Okay, and that will take you in this way. So you can do that. Now you can slice data from the beginning to a specific index. So I want to slice the first 3 items with 0, 1, and 2. The 1 and 2, 0, 1, 0, 1, sorry, because 2 is not included. In this case, what I can do, I can put colon without nothing here. That indicates this is from 0. Okay, 2, 2 means I'll take 0 and 1 in that case. And this will get me something like this. So this is in sort of slicing. So remember, when you do this, the last number index, you do not reach it. It goes by -1 to do. And that's what will happen. And then here, if you want to slice from certain location to the end of your data, and that way you can start by a number and leave the end with nothing. So go from beginning from that location to end. So I need to start from index 3 to the end of to the rest of the items. So the items from 3 and less, you can do that. And this is called slicing in this. So this slicing is important because it will help you divide your data into chunks. And why you need to do that? Sometimes because you want to look at specific segment of the data. Like you're looking at grade distribution. I need only people who their age from here to there, and they are from 20 years to 25, for example, and then I need to do something about them. So I can find that range I want to do. Slicing data help manage large data as well, and help processing data. So this is what we call it slicing. So the first one is the start index. The last one is the end index minus as a location is -1, as we know. Okay, let's get here into printing items. You have seen this one. This is easy. And common list methods. These are the things we spoke about. We spoke about append, which add to the end. We looked at extend, which will extend the list by appending elements from the other list. And then we have insert, which you can insert in specific location. We have remove, you remove a specific item by providing the value of that item, and that will remove it. Pop is you look at the index and where that item is, you can remove it. And then you have so remove item given position, and then you have pop without any thing inside. This will remove and return the last item in the list. And then we have other like clear. This will remove all elements. You want to make that one very clear, you just delete everything. And that's one way you can do it. There's other way you can, again, create the list with open square bracket, close square bracket, and that will do the same. And then you can find the index of an item, and then you can count how many items, return the number of items here. and then you can sort data by providing the key you want to sort it for. And then you have reverse. After you sort it, you reverse it. And then you can copy and list in another list. So you can do some other things to do with that. We will get into some practice soon. But before I do that, I'll show you some visualization we'll be doing today. So we'll draw some of these nice visual things using plotting technique in Python, using a library called matplotlib. So we can draw all these different type of chart with a very simple way. We can add a title to them. We can put X title, Y, and we can draw these charts later when you study statistics. Each one has a specific use that you can use. I'm not going to talk about them today. But as you can see, this is just plotting, scattered plotting. This is line plotting, it's just a line going on. This is called box plot, which used to find the outliers in the data. You have a big data, and there's some of the data is outlier. For example, if our student feedback, and you find most students are giving between 4 and 4.5 for that teacher. Most of them, except 2-3 students out of 100, they're giving the different score. These are called outliers. Means they are outside the norm of the data, and the box is a great one. This is the histogram to look at the distribution of the results, and there's so many type of distribution you need to know. And this is the pie chart. It divides things into like pie. One, and you can see the one that contributing more, the one doing less, and the bar chart as well. There are some other charts we will not be talking to them today, but you will find out yourself how to find them and draw them. This is Python is a well documented language, and you will be able to do lots of great things with that. And to plot them, we'll practice them as well. A line chart, for example, you can say plot X and Y. X and Y are two lists. This is the X. For example, this can be the years, and this can be the number of students in the schools in each year. So this is a list, and this is a list. If you say PLT, which you'll find BLT coming when we import the matplot library, PLT.plot, and we can say this is the X value, this is the Y value, you'll get that one. If you want a bar chart, it's very similar. This is your X value and this is your Y value. Can be the same, X and Y. But here we use categories because this can be years, can be the gender, can be the city, can be anything, and this can be the values associated. The histogram, you just need the data, and you need to decide how decide the width of that data, because it will break it into chunks. If you say 30, it will take 30, 30, 30. So take from 0 to 30, from 31 to 60, from 61 to 90, and put it in groups. The smaller one, the smoother will be the chart. We'll see that one. The scatter is exactly like the plot, but the line dotted are not connected. And the pie chart is, again, you need to decide the size of that chart, and then you give it a label, and then you decide is the percentage going to be displayed on the screen or not. The box one is very simple. You need to pass only the data, and the data here is list. Just put the list name. It's list 1, list 2, list 3, and then it will draw it. Heat map, where you find more the activities happening, like if you watch a football game, and sometimes those people who analyze the game, they will show you almost time this area, most of the time the players were there. So this is red, This one is list number and this thing like that. And this can be useful to see where most of the activities are happening. And it's a very simple, just heat map data, and then it will do it. Arc chart is similar to the plot chart, and then and plot is similar thing, and bubble chart is you need X, Y, Z, and things like that. So drawing this is just a very simple to do in Python, and we will look at it. Okay. Before I jump into that, I need to see some of you put their hand and they thought I ignored them. No, I didn't ignore you, but I was finishing what I'm saying. So let me go back to you. Rajiv. You put your,
Rajvisa.
okay. Tell me. Yeah,
Can you please explain the violin one again?
yeah, island one. It's just a very simple way to draw it. You need just to get the data, and the violin again is will plot this data in a violin format. We'll do one, and you will see it when we plot it. You will see how it look like, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, I'm looking at some Stephen again here. Can we use? Yeah, I can. Oh, you raise your hand. Go ahead.
Oh,
Can we use
actually, the recent question is the top one.
Yeah. Oh, there is a. Can we pop a certain name instead of just using an index? No, I cannot. I think you need to use the index to pop up the item. But you can pass the name of the item. We can create again a method or function that you pass the name to that method, which we will create our own. It will find out the index of that item, and then it will pop it up for you. So for you, it will look like you popping it up by the name.
So, how do we write the name for that so we can make it an
Yeah.
index? Is there a
Yes.
function to find the index?
Yes, there is a function find you the index of the item. So you pass the item name, called there's something called index method. You pass the name, then you'll find you the index. And based on the index, you use pop-up to pop it up.
Okay. Also, yeah, I don't understand the area print function.
Yeah. Yeah, others who are talking, please mute your microphone.
We're back home. But yeah, that's all. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Back to Stephen. Yeah, you don't understand the print function?
The area function, like the
Oh,
area thing, area plot.
Area plot. The area plot is similar to the, let me go to this one here. The area plot is similar to line plot. See this, the line plot? The area will
Yeah.
fill this area, will fill the area between the line and X and Y. That's called area plot. It's just visualization, it looks like an area. If you look at the financial market charts, you will find sometimes they use area chart to show maybe better visual on the screen. But at the end, it's a line chart with filled area. Let's do that when we get to the practice, and you will see all this. Always good you and when you do it in practice. Just remind me, I'll do that. I think two things you need to remind me. One is extending, I think you said, or you said something.
Inserting
and
multiple lists, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, any other questions? Hold on, that means they are seeing arrays in Python? They're very similar to arrays in Python or array list. They are similar to the array list, but they are more easy to deal with and very powerful, I have to say. Okay, let's get back to our environment and let's do some practice on what we need to do. Challenge, I don't have two screens so I can see what we did, but let's do some our own. I think I went here. Where is my other screen? Here's it. Yeah. So this is a screen, and let's go back here and create another one. So this one will close it because it was lesson 1. The good thing I can share with you all these things like what we did with the Ripple, which I will do. We can do the same thing on Ripple, but here it's much better, I have to say. I asked the Ripple team if they can create something similar. Maybe they have done, but I didn't check for a long time. So I'm creating a new one here, and we'll call it session 2. Okay, and we are talking about list and visualization. Okay. People, I need to delete this one. List and visualization. So let's create a list. We will call it, what do you want to call it? Call it X. Okay, we'll call it X. We understand. So let's say 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 2, 5. And this is a list we have now. Notice when the way I run it, I put my finger on control. I be inside the cell. I have to be inside the cell. Put my finger on control and then hit enter. This will run it. Now I know it did run. How I know from here? 2 means I did run this one 2 times. If I do another run, it will become 3. So this is telling me how many times I have executed that line of command. Does it have to be a single line? It can be more than one line, but usually better to put your data in one cell and then the process you do in another cell. Why? Because this way you don't need to run your data every time you want to do. So let's create another cell. Excuse me. My apology. Okay, so let's come here and let's look at append, yeah? Let's add data to this. So 6x append, and we'll be adding 20. If I do this, append is executed, but what is the impact of that one? I could have done it here by saying X only. So without using print, I was able to display the data, yeah? But the challenge, if I run this one, it will add 20 again. It will add 20 again, yeah? I don't want it every time I want to display data. So I create another cell for displaying data, which X. Now, if I run this, it will not multiple times, it will not add 20 again. If I run this line, okay? Because this line now is just displaying the data. So it's better you split your data and the operation you do on your data from displaying the data. I can again use print X. That will work. Yeah. So if I use only X, it will understand that I want to print it. If I use print X, what will do? Why should I use print X? If I want to add some additional information, I will use print X because I can add here a quotation and add other things, and then I can say comma X. Remember here we use comma. It's not doing that. I think some additional, yeah, here I use single quotation and here use double quotation. You see the issue, yeah? Delete one of it. Okay, now it's fine. And now it's working because I added some additional things to it. I use comma here, remember in our friend Java, we use plus, yeah? The X can be useful when you need, but if you just want to display the whole data like this, you just do that. Now, okay. We know now, let's say we want to remove item, remove 20, okay? So you can X dot remove 20. What do you think will happen? We'll come here after this one, create another cell called X. Now, 20 removed, but is it every 20 removed? No, the last, the first 20 was removed there, and so on. Let's add insert now, so you better understand it. Let's X dot insert, and we will insert at location 2, we'll insert 20. Okay. Yeah. And let's now display X again. Now 20 is added into location into index 2, yeah, which is location 3. Now if I use the remove here, I don't want to confuse you, but I can run remove here and run X. I will see that 20 is gone. But let me run it after that so you don't get confused. So we'll say X remove 20. Now, remember when I said when you learn something, there are 4 steps you need to go through. First one, I said you observe someone doing it. And the second one, you do it yourself. And the third one, you start discovering what will happen by making changes. The best way to learn, and then the last one is get feedback. So the best way is you practice it. Say, oh, what will happen if I do this? And then do that and see what will happen and observe what changes have been made. This way you understand it better. And also you come with your own solutions to that problem. Okay, so we notice now remove the first item that it's fine. See, I have here 20 here. When I said remove 20, it didn't remove the last one. It removed the first one appearing in the list. So where this is not 20, this is not 20, found this 20, removed it. Now how I can remove every 20? Then this way I need to make a loop that goes through all elements, and every time it finds 20, it removes it. I create a function for that one to do that. Okay. Okay, let's look at what else we said. We have extend, yeah? Let's look at extend now. And let's come with another list here. Let me come with a list called Y. And we'll put in Y the name of the people. Hamad. Why Hamad? Ahmed. Put Ahmed. Put Horror. Put Steve. Okay. These are different data type. Okay. Can I extend X1 by adding Y if the data type are different? Then we'll see X extend Y. This is the way it works. Always you need to have your list, then the method or the function that you need to add to it, and then you pass the data. So this is executed now. Now, what will be X? This is X. So you can add any data to main data. If the same data type will be better for your processing, but if it is different, then it's okay. But for different data type, the better use dictionary. We'll come to dictionary later. But what will happen if I display Y now? I displayed X. What will happen if I display Y? Can you put your expectation in the chat? So if I display Y now, what I will see on the screen? What will be the result? Where are you? You are here. Very good. I can see. It will still have the, okay. Yes, yeah, yeah. I think in summary, what you are saying, error, no, there's no error, will be fine. We'll have the same values of Y because I didn't change Y. I extended X by adding Y to it, but Y stays as it is. So I will get the same thing, Ahmad and others. So this is Y. Y is the original because I said extend X, I didn't say extend Y. If I said extend Y, then Y will change. So if I come with, for example, Z equal 5, 8, 9. This is Z now. Sorry, Z now. And then I can come now and say Y extend Y dot extend Z. This now will what it will do, it will change Y. And if I say Y now, will be this new Y. So I extended Y. Will X now become different? Will it include this additional value? Tell me in the chat. What do you think?
Okay.
Now, I extended Y, okay, by adding Z to it. Now Y became Ahmad or Steve. Given that X is the extended version of X that included Y, will X become will have this additional data if I display it
No.
or not? No. Why? Why? Yes, but it will not contain to the okay. If we run the previous, yes, you're right. Now it will not display the extended data because we did not extend Y after we didn't extend X after extending Y. If I put X, X will come exactly the same as previously was there. So these additional things added to Y is not added to X. And this is the sequence of operation. But if I come here and run this line, and then display X, I'll find X now because it became bigger, so they put it vertically for me instead. And X now has included the data. So if you do not run the previous line, the data will stay as it is in the previous line. That's the message we're sending here. So that will not change unless you run it again. And that will give you so we can see now extend can extend multiple. Let's look at the pop-up and think I don't need this one. I'll come here and let's pop. So say X pop and let's pop number column 2, yeah. It's 5. Okay. So it's 5 now. and that gets us number 5. Now, if we display X again, you will see number 2, which we deleted from here, was 0, 1, 2, which was 5. Now, when I displayed X again, 5 is gone because it's been deleted. Okay, let's do another pop-up and say, for example, M equal X dot pop-up. What value you want to put? You want to remove one of these 20. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7. Now, what happened here? I can display M. I'll find M, which is 20. But also, if I display X again, I'll find the list without 20, which was in that. We had 3 20s there. There is only 2 20s now. So the pop-up, you can store the one you want to remove in a variable, and then you can do something with it. Yeah, and that's something we can also do. What did we talk about here? Just so I can remember all this method we did. So that's the pop-up. We have the delete. It's just to remove it from that location. So we'll go back to the delete. What is over here? Yeah. So let's get another one, and we'll say now X dot delete, and we delete 6 from here. It's del. Is it del or delete? No, I've almost lost track of that one. Where is the
It's
delete?
dull.
What did we put it here?
It says dull.
Del, only del, and you decide. Yeah, it's not a function. It's a command. Okay, this is important to know. Delete is a command. So I use a command called delete, and then go to X and select the one I want to delete. And this is the way it does it. So this is a command, not a function. Function or a method has to have dot to. This is a command. Now the other thing called len, another command, remember now this command, len x. What do you think it gives? It gives you the length of that list. So this list has 17 items in it. Okay. Let's play with the slices now. Let's see if X is better now. Maybe we should delete number 16 and delete number 16, 14. Okay, let's see if X will come here. What is the length now? 5. And I remove number 13. I put this one X. Yeah, so at least it's coming on the screen like that. I want a shorter one so I can show you these slices. So if I want to slice this data and I want to take from the beginning to index 4, I can do this. So this basically, I took data from beginning until index 4. So 0, 1, 2, until less than index 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Or the other way you can read it, I go from 0 and taking 4 items. Yeah. So that's here. I can put it in X1, for example, store it in X1. So now I have a new data called X1. And let's create another data, which will slice the data. We'll call it X2. And here we'll say X from index 2. I need 5 items. Okay, so let's see what we will get now, and we will just say x2. Okay, to index 5, sorry, from 2 to index 5. So from index 2, which 0, 1, 2 is the 6, to index 5 were minus 1. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will get me only 6, 7, 0, because the index 5 will not be included. So the first one was 0 to index 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and stop there. It will not include index 4. The second one from index 2 to index 5 minus 1. So 0, 1, 2, this is 2. So starting here, 2, 3, 4, it will not include index 5. So here came 5 index and 5 thing, but I think I understand now to do. And now if I do this, this is something I want you to know. X1, then X2, and hit enter. What I'll get on the screen, this is the limitation now of printing data without using print statement. So if I do that, I will get only the last one printed. So if I want to print both, I need to use print x1, and then another line maybe, print x2. This will print for me the 2. The challenge with printing without using print, it prints the last thing happen in your cell. Doesn't print everyone. So I want you to get this one. I think now it became clear. Hopefully clear. If not clear, you can. I will repeat it. So now when we printed this the 2 items, we have 2 lists. I can play with these 2 lists. We look at the plotting when you plot to certain items. You can do that. So this is slicing data. You need to know the starting index and the last index minus 1. That's how to do. If I want to get from index 0 to index 3, I have to put 4. Why ask me? This is the way they do put the language. So it will become 0, 1, 2, 3. I stop there. I don't get index 4 included. The same thing when you want to do from index 2 to index 5, actually you will do 2 to 4 because 5 will not be included. So you look at to find index 2 and then you do things like that. So this slicing by index, there is slicing later we'll do hopefully tomorrow when we get into data analytics or on Wednesday, based on the values this value as out there, and you can do that. So we look at this. I can see there's some question. Let's answer the question, then we will go to the remaining thing we need to practice. Again, Stephen.
Yeah, I was going to remind you of how I can add like multiple lists using a loop.
Very good. Let's create now. We have these 2 lists, and let's add them together, creating a loop, and we want to add each one in a specific index, for example. Okay. So let's do that. Let's create a function called def add list. I'll do this. Add. This is our name. Add list to list. This is the key. Okay, good. And we will say this one will take, for example, 2 lists, one called A, one called B. These are lists. Yeah. So we need someone that add A to B. And we can use extend, of course, but let's do using a for loop, yeah? So for A1 in A, this will go through the first list, which we will pass, maybe this one or something else, which we will pass. We'll go through them from element to element and go through them one by one. Okay, and then specify appending each element to the previous list. Okay, so what will happen here after it goes, we'll go to element B and say append. We'll do different thing. We'll do append, we'll do index, insert. We'll just do it just now as it is, A1. Now, basically, this method we created, it goes through the first list, which we suppose the one that need to be added. And the second list is the new list that will include the old B plus the added item to it. But in this way, we're using append instead of. So if I run this one now, it's in the memory. And let's come here. And we remember we have X and Y. So let's call that add list to list. This is the name of it. And we're adding X1 and X2. So this is, so we're adding X1, which is this one, okay, to X2, okay. So X1 will become the new one, okay, that we want to have. So if we do this now, I run this, it did run. Now what will be X1 if I display it? X1 will be actually yeah, sorry, okay. Now we need to return, let's do, after we do all this here, let's return B, because you have to return B after we do all this thing, okay? So if we do this, we'll say print this one we need to do, because we didn't use, if you use the same variable, then can change. But anyway, let's do this one and do that now. Now this is now, this function now, when we pass to it two lists, it take the first list and add it to the second list. And after it complete everything, it return it back to us. So you can store it in a new variable. We can say H, for example, equal add list to list, and we're passing X1 and X2. If I do this here, do this, now there's H being created, I can display it now. Now, because we have repeated this multiple times, it has caused some issues here. But let's first do this one, and then we can come here and do this one, and then do this one. Yeah, this is perfect now. So now it went through that one. Now I want to insert it to specific location, and instead of that, so you say insert. I want them to be added to the beginning, not to the end. To insert sometime, and insert, and we want them all to be, each item to be added to the beginning. Look at this. Let me do this again and do this again to just make sure these two data are correct. And now this time I'm inserting at location 0. So these additional items, which 2, 4, 6, 7, this one will be at the beginning of the list H, not at the end of it. So if I do this now and I do this, now you will see they are. Did I run this one? Did I run this one? Did I run? This one, yeah, I did, but I need to refresh data again. Refresh data again. And let's run this one and run this one. And you can see now the data being added to the beginning instead of the end. So because I'm using insert each element at index 0, I can put them in any location I would like to. That's one thing. You can create any function you want by just going through the list, breaking the list, and doing whatever you want to do with it. And that's the strength of Python programming. There's endless of options that you can come with to do that. Okay.
Sir,
Stephen is still there. Yeah. Right.
yeah, another thing. So what we just did, we just put everything into index 0. So it added the list in reverse order.
Yeah. 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 We put everything in index 0 here. Any item will be added to index 0. So the first item will be added to index 0. The second item will be added to index 0, the new index 0, and the others will be pushed away. Inserted to index 0, because you will be pushing others who are in 0 to the next level. That's
But can we
what
like increase? Can we control that? Can we make it like 0, then 1, then 2?
Yes, you can. You can look at another. You create another loop here. So let's do that one if you want. Let's come with something called I. Let's put a variable called I equal 0. Now, okay. Now, after I insert this one to I, after I insert to I will increase I by 1. Now, what will happen? First time, it will insert it to I, which is 0. Second time, it will insert it to 1, because after 0. Because I will be incremented by 1 every step. The next time I will be 2, will insert it into 2, and it goes this way. So this way, by creating a counter, I started pushing it to different places. I can change this function to add here I, where it should start. Yeah. So if I do this here, when I call this function, I can pass the location where the new list should be added to. And this is now a new one. Let's do this. So let's run this here. Let's run this here. And then we just make sure the data is correct. Yeah. Now this new function will run it. So this function requires now 3 parameters. I have to specify another one, where I should start from. So I want it to be added from 4. So this way, it will start adding those items from 4, because I decided an index that the data should be added to. So I came with a new function that take 2 lists and add the second list to the first list, starting from specific index. That's one thing. But if I want for each item to be added to a specific list, I can create another list of the index of each item, or find out the index and then start moving it different. I can make it as complicated I want to do, because I have the control here in defining this function the way I want it to do. And it becomes my new function that I'll be using. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So when we do insert, if we wanna specify an index, we put the index first, then the datum, right?
Correct. Yes, that's the way insert work. You need
And
the
I think for
index.
that code, oh sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Continue, sir.
Yeah. So for insert, you need 2 things: the location first of the index, and then the value to be added, because it inserted in between. Like, for example, I have this list here, or let's take this easy one. If I want to insert 8 between 6 and 7, I need to know the location where it will be inserted first. So it will be inserted in index 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then what value to be added to that place? I say 8. So when you come here, it will push 7 and put 8 in that location. So 7 goes to index 4 now, and 8 becomes in index 3. So this is the way it works. So you provide the index and then the value you want to insert.
Yeah, I think also for this specific code, putting 4 is for I it will be an error because the our list has only up to index 2, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah,
So it should
you are
make
right.
3.
I think we can add, this is a very good. You can say if, here put a condition, if I is more than length of A, are we adding B, yeah? Length of A, okay, we put a condition here. I don't need this bracket anymore.
I think it's for B instead of A because we're
Okay,
using the list of B.
yeah, you're right, okay. Length of B, if it's less than or equal, less than the length of P, then you run it. Else, we can display a message. We can say else here and say print the index of B should be less than its length. Its length. I don't know. Okay, something like this. So this way, it will first check the length. If someone provided I that is equal to the length of B, you need to figure out the logic of it. But as you can see, we can have a control here to control the input. User cannot import any I. The I that he wants should not be something outside B. So you cannot be outside B. No, I think it should be A. I think it should be A because we're adding A, we're adding B to A. So if I want to add it to A in index 5, it should not accept it. Index 4, it should not accept it because index 4, there's no item 10. Yeah. So it should do that. Anyway, so you can come with a method. You can add your own control in it.
But sir, we're using b.insert, so the list is going to B, right?
You are right. You are right. You are right. You are right. You're inserting. You are absolutely right. Yeah.
Can we also make it so that if I is actually greater than the length of B, just make it change I into the length -1?
What did you mean? What did you say?
So like if someone put I and it's bigger, instead of telling them the error, can we just like change their number to make it the length of
Oh,
B -1?
that's a very good idea. Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. We can just say if this is more than or equal, okay, then we can say I equal if this one is more than the length is then I equal length of B -1. Length of B -1. Yeah, and instead of asking them question or anything. And then in this case, we don't need to do that. this we can put here, and then the for loop will just go back to its location, not part of the if. Yeah, now I need to know this. This you don't need now anymore to be part of the if. Yeah, because this condition will be executed only in case of the I provided is more than the length of P. Then if it's more than the length of P, then it will this make it the length of P minus 1, and then this loop will run. If this one not the case, it will ignore this one and jump there. So you can do all those things. Yeah, logic you want to do. Yeah, thank you. Well, this is great idea. Any other questions? Looking at the questions and the chat before I jump into the other things you need to do. The question on the top. Is it possible the number of two lists? Yeah, so we have, yeah. How can we have the output of the sum? Oh, very good. This is very good. I like this one. Who came with this one? Let me find out who is this one. Anonymous. It's not good. You put your name. Let me know. This is a great idea. So I have two lists. I love it, but I want not to lose the time to do the visualization. But we have now X and Y. This is X and this is Y. And we need similar length. Let's come with new two lists. Yeah. So we'll say L1 is 1, 2, 3. L2 equal. I'm doing something and saying something else. Anyway, now we'll make this 1, 2, 3. Okay. These two lists we have now, and we want to add 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and come with the new list. How we can do this? Let's do that. Let's create a function div add elements. We'll come with our own thing, yeah. Add elements. Let's do it just like that, yeah. And we'll pass A and B to it. And now how we can do this? We need to go through, we need to create a new list. We'll call it Z, okay? And make the list empty, okay? Now, we will go through the first list, or we'll do just index from, we'll do index, yeah, for I and range will be a length of A, length of A. Okay, this is a loop that goes from 0 minus 1. Yeah, I think minus 1. Okay, because we need to go through the length of A minus 1. So we'll go basically from 0, 1, 2. That's what we will do. Okay, so I have an index now. I can say Z now, Z of I equal A of I plus B of I. Okay, done. So they'll go through this one, and let's just print Z here so we don't complicate it. Let's print Z here. Okay, so we have this function now. Now let's run it. We'll call add elements. This is the name of the function. I hope I spell it correct. Elements. I don't have my proper keyboard, but what can I do? Elements, okay? and L1, L2. Let's see what will happen. We have an error. Did we say list assignment? Oh yeah, sorry. Here we can say X dot append. We need to use append because the list is empty. Okay, you will understand now. Okay, X list object attribute append is read only. What's wrong with this one?
Should we
Okay.
increase I by 1 every time? Or is
We
it going to do
should.
that by
It
itself?
it will increase. I think there's. Let's do one thing before we do. Let's print I here. So I need to know what's coming in I. So I'm clear on that. So let's do this from here. Print I. Just I'm sure of I. So let's look at this. And if I do this, I is 0 and 1. Yeah. So I don't need -1. So now we know I is okay. So I is 0, 1, 2, 3. I is there. Yeah. What we need to make Z of I, Z of I equal Z of I equal A of I plus B of I. Perfect. Yeah. And then at the end here, we'll say print Z. Yeah. Perfect. Now what it did, it took the first number. This thing is thinking. Yeah. So we did it together. We're thinking of a new problem given to us. So we started using a logic to do that. And there are different ways you can do it. You could have written this one 3, 4 times, different ways. So basically what it does now, the 3 is the total of 2 and 1, and the 5 is the total of 3 and 2, and the 7 is total of 4 and 3. Okay, and you can do this very easily as you can do. There's something called sets. We'll come to it later. If we convert the list to a set, then we can apply the set functions on this one. Okay, here is just give you a quick idea about it. Maybe I should come here and say go to ChatGPT or even here, yeah, even in Replit, we have AI here. AI, where is this one? AI is, I think need a refresh. Here is it. If I come here and say explain sets in Python, Bob, you can learn anything nowadays. Now it will now explain the set. The set works like, remember, I think you did the sets in mathematics. So you can do multiple things with the set. So you can add sets to each others and find the total. You can reverse it. You can multiply set by another set. So it takes every element and multiply it with the corresponding element there. You can do lots of things with the sets. The sets, you can union set. You add the union of the set. That means you exclude repetition. So if there is a set called 1, 2, 3, and another one has 2, 4, 5, the 2 will not be added to both of them. Okay, and here is an example. You have set 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. When union together became 1, 2, 3 only once, 4, 5. This is called union. That's you study in the mathematics to do. You don't need to write function if you convert it to a set, and that will work fine. Someone is running this code, or I'm running this code. Okay, so the sets is another thing. You can look at it So this is a set. We looked at union of the two. Intersections between the sets. So I have 2, 3, 4. What is the intersection between the two? It will automatically find me 3 is the intersection. This is the strength of Python. This is the strength of Python. This ability to do those mathematical things. Sometimes we find them, some people find them complicated, but here it becomes fun and you can easily apply them. So you have two sets. You want to find the intersection between them. It will find you the intersection between the two sets. The intersection, we'll say A, use AND, but they need to be put as a set, created from beginning. And you can convert any list to a set. I'll show you in a minute. Symmetric differences between the sets. The symmetric differences between the sets, also you can find it. And this is the differences between the sets. Things are different between the two sets. You can see the difference are everything is not the same on everything except 3. That's the difference. And here you can also print sets, and then you can unique elements in a set. What are the unique? For example, this element has 1, 2, 2 twice, 4 twice. I don't want those repetition. I need just the unique elements. So I can use unique elements. So I can say list, convert a list to a set, will remove the unique elements. The difference between set and list, few things. One, the set doesn't include repetition. So if I convert it, and let's go back to our example, although I want to do the graphics that I want to do, because I love it, but still we can, where is our file? Where did we put it? I think it's here, yeah. Where did we put that? Is it here or there? Here. This is now let's look at this. If I have a list called L3 that equal 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, another 2, another 3, another 2, then 4. This is the list I have. If I convert it to a set by using set, so I'll say set L3. What do you see the difference? The repetition are removed. The 2 twice became only 1. The 3 twice became only 1. So the set does not include the repetition. So when you convert anything, and then you can look at union, intersection, symmetric intersection, differences between the sets, and you can reverse a set. So many functions on sets, which you can find it here. You see, what are the functions, the set function in Python. Okay, do that. Now these are the set functions. You start creating a function, adding element to a function similar to that. Good, you removing it is just like that. You remove by the index. You can pop as well. You can union and things like that, and do that. Now, if you want to remember them, I did teach you how to use this ChatGPT. So put the function in a table with an example. See the beauty. Now you have it there and you can practice them. Now put them in an example and they are now for you in a table. So you can see first is creating a set. This is how you do it. Just use the word set. And then you can pass to it the data. This, if you do this, you'll get that. And then it gives you add. This is add element. Here is an example. Here will be the output. And now you can practice. I said to you before, you don't need people to teach you nowadays anything. You just need to think of what you need to learn, express it, and practice it. And then you will learn clearing the set. The length of the set is the same. And then you have other things to do with the set. And the set is a very strong mathematical concept that is needed in many things. Okay, so we spoke about the sets. I want to use the next 21 minutes by answer Arwa. Arwa, please.
Sir?
Yes, Arwa.
Sorry, I was having problems joining the meeting. Can you explain the last thing that you last explained? Because I wasn't here.
The set, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. And let me find my page. Yeah. Now there are multiple data types or format in Python. We've been working with list. So list is just a list of items stored in one variable like the array. But they can be numeric, they can be text, they can be mix of them. And there can be a repetition in the list. So you can have the same number or the same twice. It's good for where the repetition is okay. For example, if I have a list of my students' grades, there can be multiple students having the same grade. So list is good for that. But if I want to apply set mathematical calculations on the list, I should not have a repetition. So the way I do it, I convert it to something called set, S-E-T. The set will take the same one, but will put it in a way that there is no repetition in the data. There is no, the same number or the same name is not repeated twice. The beauty of having a set, I can apply so many mathematical things to it. One of it is I can multiply two sets together. I can find the difference between the sets. I can do things like that. That's what I was explaining.
Yeah, no, I meant like before the set, because I wasn't here before you explained the set, and I just rejoined because I was having problems.
Okay, no. Before explaining a set, we looked at coming with a mathematical, with the method or function that will add two sets to each other by two lists to each other. So this was example from one of the students. He said I have two lists, list A and list 2. And I want to add every element to the corresponding element and create a new set. How we can do that? So what we said, we'll need to come with a method called add elements or whatever. We'll pass A and B, which are the two items, and then we'll create a new empty list with 0, 0, 0 or nothing in there. And then we'll have a loop to go through them from beginning to the end using the index. And every time setting Z to be the total of the first element in the first list plus the first element in the second list. Then I become 1. Then it will become the second element, we add them all together. And if we print, we'll have the new list that include the sum of each element from the two elements. That's what we did. Now let's move now to the graphic.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure, thank you. So now let's come with something new. let's look at, is L1 and L2 are still the same? Yeah, L1 and L2 are the same. Now, if you want to plot, you need to import a library. There is a library we need to import it called import, which matplotlib. This is the name of the library. Matplotlib. That's it. But from that one, we want to import only pyplot, which specific library. So you need to import it. If you do this, import it and run, and you get an error, means this library is not installed on your system. Python has so many libraries, and it doesn't come with all of them installed. So how I can install it? If you want to install it, there's something in Python called PIP, which used for installing libraries. Sometimes you can find a library from a website that someone created, and it's very beautiful and can do many things for you. You want to install it. So you bring it, download it, and you come here and say PIP install. Then you put the name of the library, matplotlib. This will install it for you, but I already have it installed, so I don't want to do this so it doesn't harm my system. But if I do that, what will happen? It will go and find it. In my case, it's already there, and there is a new release came in. It's asking me, do you want to update? I can use this one, but I don't want to update it. Now I'm happy with my existing one I have. Yeah. Okay, so if it doesn't run, you need to go and run pip install and then the name of the library, and it will install it on your system. Okay, that's one thing. Two things now we know we have to do. One is downloading, installing the library, and the other one importing it by using this command. So if you want to plot just a simple plot, we can now use, but better to add here to simplify things for yourself as BLT or as X or Y. And this name you come with it as you like. But usually this is what every programmer will use is PLT. PLT means the plotting, yeah? So do it that way. You need to import matplotlib as PET. Now we can use BLT now to do the plotting. So you can say plot X and Y. Yeah. And this one will supposed to plot our data, but we have something here, I think, wrong. Let's see X, where is X and Y? I think I did plot, but X and Y must have the same first dimension, but have shape. Yeah, I think our X and Y, we should do L and L1 and L3, yeah? L, L1 and L2, yeah, because the length should be the same, L1 and L2. Yeah, this one will plot because we have added the wrong one. So plot it. Now the list you want to plot, there's X and there is Y in it, yeah? So here, this is our X here. The first one, L1, will be used for the X, and L2 will be. Let's come with another list. Let's come with something better than this one. So let's say now, L1, say we'll call it year, create one called year, and we'll come in the year 2018, 2019, 2020. Okay, it's enough that. year equal, sorry, year equal. And here say sales. So this is the sales of the company on that year will be, they were selling a lot of things, and here they're selling a lot of things and selling a lot of things. Okay. So now this is the one. So if I can come and say plt dot plot, and then we pass year and we pass cells, and we do this. So we are getting this. So they seem losing some money. This company is not doing well. They started well, then they lost money because we just reduced our data to do, and that's way. Now I can give title for it as well if I want, and that will give it a title which we can use. So let's come here and say plt plot plt, and we can use something called title. If I give a title to this one and call sales by year, for example, and then I plot it, this will show a title for the chart. Okay? Title for the chart. So the title can help me do that. I can give label to X and Y. So I can say BLT dot X label. What is the label? The label is actually what will be written here, yeah? So in this case, what will be the label I can give it? I can say years. This will give it like years. And the other, I can do the Y also, PLT, Y label, and we'll say here cells. So what will happen? We'll have a label here, and we'll have a label here on here and here to do. So you can do more things with it. So like you can have see years here, you can see cells here, sorry, and the graph is going down. It's not fair to this company. I gave it a small number of cells every year. Let me add a 0 here and a 0 here. Let's see how it will look like if I do that. And again, this data now it's okay a little bit. It's just went up, and in 2019 they were doing fine, but they started declining. Now the good thing, if I change here 2021, and I came here and added 90,000 here, and run this one, I can see the chart is doing okay. They need one more 0. I'm making this company losing money. See, so the chart keep coming and becoming nicer to do. So, and we can do more of that. You can also use, although it's optional, but you can use show. So you say PLT show here. This will work for you as well, which will be like that. Okay. So this is just the line chart. Now let's do. We want to do a bar chart. Yeah. So how we can do a bar chart? What do you expect the difference will be between the two? The difference is very small. Here we have just plot. We use plot. Instead of plot, we'll use bar chart. Yeah. So BLT dot bar, only bar. And then we have the year and cells. That's the two right thing. Now we have a bar chart coming here. Now, of course, we need to give it title and things like that. So we can take the same thing here because every plot is its own one. So now we can have the same thing. Okay. So that gives you a bar chart. Now you can make the size. There's something called size. You can stretch it to the right, make it bigger, or shrink it from top or thing like that. You can do all this. Of course, you can copy this as an image, use it anywhere you want to do. I think we spoke about the scattered is the same, and then we had also the pie chart. If you want to do the pie chart, you can do that. You can see the differences between plotting this thing is not really complicated. You can plot so many things. Remember, let's go here. Let me come back. Area as well. I think we spoke about the area. Here are common method. I think here we spoke about area chart. Like let's use this one, area chart, by using fill between, plot fill between, and put X, Y, Z. I think Stephen asked this question. We can do this. Let's just go there. Fill and what is our page? Is it here? Yeah, here's it. So let's come here. Okay, so let's add a new one. And if you say BLT dot fill underscore between year and cells. Okay, and now this is area chart. See the area chart, if you compare it with the line chart, it just fills the area in between. Sometimes this is used widely in stock market to display the data because it helps looking at the volume of trade as well. But this is one. You can see all of them are very simple to do. If I want to do histogram, I need only one set of data. I don't need the other data. This is important. Let's do histogram, which will be something different. So let me come with the new data here. Again, this data later we'll learn how to get it from a large Excel file that have that size of the file is 1 giga or something like that, and how we can get data from that one and visualize it. This we'll do next time, inshallah. Still have 4 minutes. So let's say something called grades, and let's put this one student grade, like people score 90, people score 60, people score 65, people score 70, people score 74, people score 69, people score 80, people score 85, people score. I have a large number of students here in this data. Sorry. Assume this is not a large data, but assume I have a large data. And now I need to plot it as histogram. So plot hist, and then we'll put your data, which grades here, grades. Then I need to decide the distribution between this. We'll look at this one, which, for example, where is the histogram? The histogram is here. So bins 30, yeah, bins equal 30. We'll play with this one and see how this will be different, okay? So bins equal 30, and let's do that. Okay, so that's the data came. This is the one. Now, if I make this one only 5, you can see because the data became more, but the data is small. The only issue with this data is very small. and it doesn't help. The histogram, you need a large data to get something that make any sense for your data. Anyway, that's the one we did. Now started to look better. See, it looks better, and it tells you if it is uniformly going like a normal distribution, like a bell curve, they call it. Then the data is more normally distributed. But if it is going more to the right or going more to the left, means it's not really normal distribution, and there are ways to adjust it or normalize it to make it look a normal distribution. But these are different chart graphs. You've been looking at it. You can find more. There is a library. If you go here, I get so many examples, amazing example. Mat, plot lib, and you will go here. This is the, no, this is not the one, sorry. This is a course about it, but you can, here is it. So you can find, this is the source to learn anything about this visualization. They have so many examples for so many data, and this is plotting, this is scattering, this is a bar chart. You can see a stack plot, and you have fill, which we spoke about it, filling between two functions. You have function x, y, you want to display the area in between them, you can do that. This one for stem, and so many. This is the x plot, and each one they explain where you use it, how to use it, and what benefit you get from it. And you have so many of it. So that's it. We're done today. I know some of you have some questions. If you want to ask questions, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good time. Stephen, you still have some questions, or you want to go?
Yeah,
I am
no,
here.
I have a question, but I don't exactly remember where I had the question. Oh yeah, there was a question when we put the decimals, right? Like when we were doing the
Yes,
plotting, Python just put some decimals in the year.
yes, yeah. You can
How can
remove
we
that
change
one.
that?
Yeah, you can remove it by converting them all to integers, and they make it integer. Yeah.
So to just like integer list equals
Yes.
that?
Yes. Yeah. That's how it is. Yeah. Okay. I have another meeting with Victor Hamdi. I have to go for. Okay. I will see you next time. We'll do more plotting things when we get into the more challenging part. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Bye.